So good morning. Here's another video of my hair progress. I'm currently in week 4 now, and I think you can see there's a lot of shedding on this side, right? This week would be my officially the 4th week, which is equivalent to month 1 of my hair transplant journey. Yeah, I can see the shedding phase has started, all of this area right here. My crown is looking light as well. So yeah, what can I say? This is actually the first time now I've seen my hairline looking in this state. I mean, as I stated in my previous videos, right? Like my hairline was receding prior to the hair transplant, but it wasn't. I don't think it was this bad to where it's kind of gone up. But I understand this is the process. This is the process it takes for for the transplant journey, and all I can do is wait and just be optimistic about the results. Looking at this side, there's some fading here. Yeah, but please, I would appreciate any comments or bits of advice from other people that have been on this journey as well. I think, what day is it today? Today is the 26th of January. Again, my procedure was done on the 28th of December. So on Friday, it would be exactly 1 month. This Friday will be 1 month, into my journey. So yeah, I think there's been progress. Regarding my donor area, let me see if I can spin the camera around so that just to capture my donor area. Yeah, I don't know, it's a bit of a dark room right now, but I'll try and do other videos in the lighter environment. I'm sorry about this. Apologies for this. It's just what it is. I just woken up now, and I wanted to just share again. Share another update. So I'm gonna stay consistent with these updates. I'm gonna try and keep it consistent, and yeah, just literally share my journey and maybe try and help other people that might want to embark on this. Yeah, on doing a hair transplant. I'm still yet to do a video of my experience, or what I experienced in Turkey. Actually, let me see if I can do a little breakdown now. So, as I said, my transplant was done on the 20th of December. I arrived in Turkey on the 27th of December last year. So, I literally stayed there for 3 days because I was under the impression that the procedure wasn't going to be much I would say much hazardous to I didn't think it was going to be as intense as it was, and maybe that's due to the fact that I didn't do enough research prior to embarking on this journey. I mean, I watched a few videos of people describing their experience, the various procedures like the FUE. I think that was the procedure I did, the FUE transplant. And then there's the FUT where they take a line, a scalp from the back of your head and thing. So I didn't do much research, so I thought, okay, it's an easy process. And the company that I went with was Longevita. They're based in UK. Sorry, not in the UK. What am I saying? They're based in Turkey, right? And there's been a lot of UK visitors to Turkey. They have a lot of UK visitors. So that was the company that I chose for my hair transplant. One thing I noticed, prior to scheduling this hair transplant surgery was I was finding it extremely difficult to reach out to the staff. I do remember when I started making inquiries, I was calling up their London office because they do have a branch here in London. I called up the London office, got the prices. You know, I think the procedure in London was at the time, which is just last month actually. £4,000 is what was quoted for my hair for 3,000 grafts. Um, so if I was going to do it in London, it would have cost me £4,000. But I chose to do it in Turkey, which was obviously a lot cheaper, and the total cost was £1,200, which included a hotel stay and transportation to and from the airport. So that was what was included in my package, and it was initially 1,500, but it got I had a discount offer of 1,200 because it was Christmas period. So yeah, I hope that I'm making sense with the way I'm explaining this for the listeners. Obviously, if anything I've said isn't clear, please feel free to just put a comment down in the box below, and I'll be sure to reply. So anyway, I noticed that I wasn't being the response rate was really slow. Like I was in fact, I even got to a point where I was really frustrated with them, and I started looking at alternative options. I was looking for other clinics in Turkey. I was checking online, and the consultant I dealt with, he was really I just felt like I wasn't getting enough support or enough I wasn't getting my questions answered to the best of my ability. All I got was, okay, I sent my pictures, of my hair and everything, and I think I'll be posting like my before pictures just to show you how my hair looked before the procedure. And I remember I was growing my hair, like I tried to grow it out so that I had enough hair, because I was thinking, okay, yeah, it's just going to be, the surgery shouldn't be it wouldn't have nothing to do with scalp. So I was thinking, like, the more hair you grow, the better it becomes. But again, I was going by what I thought, and I didn't get enough information from the surgical people, or from the clinic. So anyway, I paid the fee or whatever, and booked my flights and everything. I had to pay for my flights, and as you're aware, we're in COVID, so I needed to make necessary arrangements to ensure that I was able to go in and out of Turkey um with no restrictions and with no problems at all, because due to the COVID and everything, I hadn't had a vaccine at the time. So I had to pay for tests and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was all rushed anyway. Booked the flight for the 27th. Yeah, even still up until then, I wasn't getting enough response. Like, I would send message. They gave me the WhatsApp link, so I was communicating via WhatsApp, and it got to the point where I'd send a message, and then I wouldn't get a response back until like 2 days later. So it got me very frustrating. So yeah. So anyway, took the flight. When I got to Turkey on the 27th of December, like, the reception I got there was a bit strange as well. I got off the flight. I was told by my consultant that I'll be picked up from the airport by the driver, and they would have my name on a placard board. Once I get to arrivals. I got to arrivals. I saw there was a girl with my name up. Okay, so I went to her, and then we had to. I didn't even realize there were other people on the same flights as well that had to undergo their procedures too. So it totaled, there was about three of us. She took us to the taxi stand or whatever. We're waiting. The other two guys, they were English guys. The other two gentlemen that were that 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 you know that were picked up alongside myself. And those guys, they seemed to be very, like, they anyway, I exchanged numbers with one of them, so we kept in touch, just to sort of share ideas and exchange. Because one of the guys had done a procedure like a year ago, and he came back for his second procedure to fill up the top of his head. So we were just talking, whilst waiting for the van to take us to our respective hotels. Turns out the other two guys were friends, so they stayed at a separate hotel from me, so they left before me. So I was waiting. I think I waited out there. If you've been to Istanbul before, it's crazy. Like there's so much going on. There's all kinds of people on the streets. Everybody is so busy, right? People going back and forth. And for me, coming from the UK, I wasn't expecting like that. So anyway, the other two guys left to the hotel. Then my van came. The girl put me in the van, and she said, told the driver to drop me off at my hotel. Unfortunately, he didn't speak much English, so it was very hard to communicate with the driver. So I just sat in the van, and yeah, I got taken to my hotel. I was given instructions on what to do, blah blah. Got to the hotel, checked in, got into my room. Eventually, I think I got into the room around 9:30 p.m. So on that day, on the 27th. So yeah, I got in, settled down, had some food, and then I received a text message. So your appointment has been rescheduled because of blah 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 for unforeseen circumstances. Please be at the hotel. Be at the hospital. The hospital name. And this is a WhatsApp message, by the way. I received all this by WhatsApp. No communication, no calls, nothing. Everything was just done by WhatsApp. So the consultants advised that I need to be at the airport by 8:30 the next morning. So I'm like, wow, Jesus, like, okay, how am I gonna find my way around this place? For no internet, nothing. Thankfully the hotel had Wi-Fi, so I was able to connect to the Wi-Fi in the hotel. Yeah, so fell asleep. I barely got any sleep that night. I was hungry and everything. So yeah, woke up the next morning really early, I think I got up around 7 a.m. Got downstairs. Luckily, I advised the hotel staff to call me a cab. Cab was called. They drove me to the hospital where the surgery was meant to be taking place. Got there, nobody spoke a word of English at the hospital, so I'm lost. I'm thinking, I didn't have Wi-Fi connectivity on my phone, so it was so difficult so I was beginning to get frustrated, like what is going to happen? At this time was like 8 a.m. the next morning on the 28th when I was at hospital. And according to the WhatsApp message, my procedure was meant to be done at 8:30, so 30 minutes. And I'm thinking, where is nobody met me there. The lady that was messaging me on WhatsApp the whole time, there was no sign of her. She didn't call, nothing. So there's another guy there. I saw there's this American guy. I just started talking to him, and because he was the only person that seemed to speak English, so we just kind of started conversating, and then I was able to use his phone, his hotspot. He shared his hotspot with me, and from there I was able to text the lady to say, look, where are you? How is this? When is the procedure started? She replied back that I should go up to the 10th floor. It was just so weird. Like the whole experience was it wasn't good customer service at all. Just thinking about, okay, I paid this money. I'm expecting for the service to be, a good service, right? Like I would have expected for them to meet me, to have a translator, at least someone who speaks English that I can. None of that at all. However, bearing in mind the American guy, he was a white guy, he had his translator with him. So, and for me, no translator. I don't know what that was about. Maybe it has something to do with, I just don't know. I don't want to speculate or say things that are not backed by evidence or proof, but So anyway, I got the message to go up to the 10th floor, go in the lift, went up to the 10th floor, sat there. different people. Everybody else that was there had their translators with them. They were there with someone, you know, from representing them or whatever, you know. And I was just there sat by myself. And you can imagine a black guy in Turkey, in a Turkish hospital. Everybody else there is sort of white. You're just sat there, everyone's staring at you, looking at you, you know. And me, I don't know, I tend to get not nervous, but I'm very alert when I'm in a place, like when I'm not when I'm out of my comfort zone. So it's getting very nervous, you know. 8:15, 8:20, and then the lady who was supposed to be my consultant, she finally walks in, and she goes, "Oh, hi Manuel," and then she just walks off. So I'm like, okay. Anyway, long story short, I got called into the operating room. Again, surgeons didn't speak a word of English, so the lady was just trying to get me to sign a paper and blah blah. Oh, can you sign here? I said, you know, what's the consultation? What I was in when I was in London before the surgery, I was told that they would do a patch test. You know, which a patch test is basically them taking a patch of your hair and doing some tests so to find out if, because I have got curly hair, so they need to do a patch test and ensure that my hair was suitable for the transplant. That's what I was told before my travel to Turkey. Well, that wasn't done on the day. I was advised to sign some papers and blah blah. I signed the paper, and then she said to me, "Oh, here is your doctor that's going to be doing the transplant." You know, the person didn't even acknowledge me at all. I was just told to sit down, and then they started going to work on my head, drawing lines on my forehead and drawing the lines which they, you know, where the transplants would be. But it was strange, man. It was strange. It was a 4 to 5. I think it was 5 hour ordeal. I didn't eat anything throughout the whole process. It was really uncomfortable. There were two guys speaking Turkish the whole time. They didn't speak a word of English. I feel like they were very rude, and the way I was treated, I was treated just as poorly, you know, throughout the whole ordeal. I also observed them as the operation was going. When the worst was when they were injecting the anesthetic into my head. Oh my God, that's the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Like, that pain was unbearable, you know. So the local anesthesia is supposed to numb your head, and allow, so that they can you know, take the strips off the back of your head, and which is where they call the donor area. So your head has to be numb for that, because yeah, it was painful. It was painful. Just, you know, long story short, I don't want to. I'm trying not to extend this video for too long. I'm just trying to break it down literally. But yeah, it was a horrible experience. I was even thinking to myself, I'm never ever gonna try this again. You know, number one, none of them spoke any word of English, so there was a communication barrier there. The consultant I had did not, she didn't even, there was no consultation done. She was, the service was very poor. The service level was very poor. She didn't acknowledge me sometimes, and she wasn't even present in the in the operating room whilst my head was being you know, whilst the transplant was going on. And these two guys that were working on my head, they kept on talking. They were very rude. You know, at certain times during the procedure as well, you'd have people walking in and out of the room, and they're casually talking to each other, laughing and jeering, and then it's like, you're doing the surgery. You're actually undergoing surgery on my head, and it's the atmosphere was so lax and so just carefree. You know, people were kept on coming in and out of the room, and it was very uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable. I had to endure this for about 5 hours. Yeah, so that was the experience. I wish I could replay. I didn't record any videos, but I do have I did take some pictures of what the operating chair looks like during the procedure. Like it was bloody. There was so much. Oh my God. Yeah. And I feel like if I had some like prior warning before like embarking on that journey, I think that that would have probably helped me better to better understand what I was um looking to undergo. But I didn't have any guide until I got there, and then that's when I realized that it was crazy. It was a really crazy experience. But yeah, that's in a nutshell. That is the experience. You know, that's what happened that day. Obviously, there are other things that did happen. You know, it's all the disappointments on the day. But yeah, I think I'll save all that story for some other time. You know, I'm just doing these videos to sort of update, just show you know, the updates and progress of this hair transplant journey. And yeah, again, if there are any questions, if anybody has any questions or comments, please feel free to put them in the comments box, you know, and I'll be obliged to respond. Thank you again, and have a blessed and wonderful day.